Hi, this is Chris Foster, Senior Editor of Triathlete Magazine. We're here today to take a look at the brand new 1030 Edge Plus from Garmin. It's going to be a cycling computer that's an upgrade to their 3-year-old Edge 1030. So let's see what we've got. All right, so we got the nice box here. Let's take a look at what's inside. So you've got the unit itself. We'll talk about this in depth in a second, but it's obviously pretty large. Aside from just the head unit, there's also going to be some straps for mounting it onto your bars, okay? More things to help with mounting, USB charger cable, and then this is kind of something of note. This is an extended arm for mounting on like a flat bar. If you're gonna mount this on a flat bar or you're gonna try to put it in between your aero bars, which is what I would recommend, you're gonna need to leave a lot of space. Because this computer is almost the size of a smartphone. So you need to be thinking about, could I mount something slightly smaller than an iPhone between my bars or on top of my, my flats or whatever, because there's a reason this arm is included, right? You really need this thing to come up off your bike, right? It needs a lot of space to clear it if you're even going to be able to get it on and off too. That's another little part of it. So we'll set all this stuff to the side and take a look at the actual computer itself. So, just like the Edge 1030 that was released about 3 years ago, 3.5-inch color touchscreen, okay? Use the touchscreen to do most of the navigation, but you are gonna have 2 buttons on the bottom, okay? 1 on the side, and then a little charging port on the bottom here. The 1030 also had removable kind of SD storage, but because this 1030 Plus has been upgraded to 32 gigabytes of space, they've eliminated the external swappable storage, so you probably wouldn't need it anyway. When you're looking at the 1030 and the 1030 Plus, you've got the big screen and you need to know kind of what that's for, like what that's most useful for. You're thinking about showing obviously a lot of data all at once, but the biggest thing when you really get this thing going, you're really out on rides, is you can see maps, a much bigger picture of the map, which is helpful as you're moving quickly. You can also navigate those maps and those routes a lot easier with the touch screen than you would on something where you have to be clicking the buttons to kind of fall around, like a lot of bike computers right now. So you really need to be thinking, do I do a lot of navigating? Do I use a lot of routes? Do I use a lot of maps? The answer is yes, and you struggle with that on your cycling computer. You don't use your smartphone for that. You don't know all your routes by heart. Maybe you travel a lot. This is a good choice for that. So just a couple of the little things that make this an update from the 1030. An easier, smoother setup. You're able to import your old Garmin profiles if you've been using Garmin before. You kind of breeze through that setup really quickly, which is a huge benefit because sometimes these computers, especially the more complex they are, the harder they can be to install. It can take forever. You're going to have workout suggestions based on your previous training, so that's great if you don't have a coach or you're self-coached, or you just want to go out for a ride and you don't want to have to deal with all that stuff. It'll say, oh well, let's do a tempo today or something like that. It's also got an insanely loud, different beep than the 1030. I don't know if anyone complained about that, but this is like ear piercing. You're going to have free global detailed maps, which is a huge boon because it's all just built in, right? Again, if you're a traveler, that's a huge benefit. And you're going to be able to do kind of this cool function that I especially think is really nice right now because we're all trying to explore new routes and trying to get out of our bubble, bit by bit as everything is opening. But you can pause your routes. Okay, so you can pause that route, go explore a side trail or a canyon road you've never seen before, then it'll reroute you back onto your route, or you can resume the route you're on. So that's kind of one of the bigger updates on this computer. Basically, this is just kind of your super deluxe, all-in cycling computer. There's not much that's more expensive than this. There's not much more that's bigger than this. But again, if maps, routing, that's the kind of thing you're concerned about, this is a good choice, but we're gonna take some of these new features out because I've used the 1030 pretty extensively, and really just kind of focus on those new features that make this an update, and see how it all goes and check back then. That's all for us today. We'll see you next time.